Welcome to the Motherhood podcast with Denise Waters.
So, welcome to the motherhood. So excited to launch this adventure so that we can get to know moms in our world. I'm Denise Waters. I am both a mom and a wife. I'm a coach and an educator. I'm an author. And I really, really love community. I feel like the world that we are living in right now is so disconnected. And I was really trying to figure out a way that I could make a difference so that people feel more connected. I'm really fortunate. I get to work in an environment where we get to work on ending loneliness. So I work for a nonprofit where we are on a mission to end loneliness, and we really focus on youth. I also work in the education system where I get to support teachers and principals. But then I thought about but who's supporting me? And I went through a time this past year where I was really lonely and I was really struggling with what was next. And I got to travel with some friends. I got to experience some different places. And what I noticed was being with those other moms, I was filled with joy. I got to experience the very best of myself again. And so it came to me, the motherhood. How do we hear from moms so that we know who they are as humans, not just as moms? The audience is for our families. This is for my sons so they can know who I am as a person at a deeper level. But it's also for other moms. We build connection by actually hearing and seeing each other. When we can build that empathy, we can actually have more empathy for ourselves, which I think is one of the big things that all of us moms need. So, in this podcast, we're going to showcase moms. We're going to ask some questions about who were you before you were a mom? Who are you now? I'll answer those for me. Who I was before I was a mom, man, I was a really, really fun person. I like to play volleyball and go out and go on big adventures and travel a ton. I love spending time with my family, both my parents and my siblings, and I had a really good time. I like to read and do crafts. I like to hike and camp. I like to write, and I really like to travel. And who I was after I had my kids was a little bit different. Thatcher came into our family right after we were married, and we were put in a situation where we had to cancel a trip to Nepal because he was imminent. And fortunately, that trip was canceled because the timing of it would have put us there when bad things were happening in that country. And so we really think of Thatcher as our little saving grace for allowing us to not to be in harm's way that year. Then we had Cooper. He came along 2 years later, and 2 weeks after he was born, my husband Tim left for Iraq, and he was gone for 18 months. So I was immediately a single mom of two amazing little boys with my husband in a war zone. And so that changed me. I was sad a lot of the time, and I felt like I was kind of supposed to be because I missed my husband. After that, my husband came back, and we worked to put our family back together. And I think we did a really good job with that. But we were really focused on who we were as this team of four. And then right before my husband left for Iraq again, we decided to add a fifth member to the team, and we got Mason, and we now are five, and we're complete. And I am a part of that five, but I'm also an independent, striving woman who has had an amazing career and continues to put good things into the world. My book, as I look at it here, is being written. I have both a nonfiction and a fiction book that are coming close to the end of the writing process. And I also think that I have a lot of skills to give the world. I'm a trained life coach. I'm an educator, like I said, teacher, counselor, principal. I love to do public speaking and create curriculum. And so all these things together make me a very unique individual. And I want my kids to know that, and I want to know that about other moms. And so I'm really interested in finding out about their motherhood journeys and how those can come to life through the motherhood, both the podcast and then written adventures as well. So we have the blog, I have a couple courses available, and we also offer coaching here at the motherhood and be able to both coach people on how to maybe make changes in their life or to work through transitions, but also how to help them write their story if that is something they're interested in doing. I see a world where we have motherhood collections and we have books with mom stories in them that are sitting on coffee tables all around the country. So while people may not want to write a full book, they may want to be a part of a book. And so at the Motherhood, we want to help do that as well. So our secret sauce is friendship. We are kind to each other here, and we are going to listen to each other's stories. That listening piece is so important. As a writing educator, we often talk about feedback, and we give feedback about people's stories. And I am just here to say I don't love that. And so one of the things that we're going to do at the Motherhood is we are going to offer the feedback that somebody wants. So when I enter in and I'm going to tell you my story, I'm going to ask you ahead of time, hey, can you give me feedback about my energy when I was telling this story? Or did the words seem right for my audience? And I want that specific feedback. I don't want all your feedback, but more importantly, what I'm looking for is you to ask questions and to be interested in my story. I think about my husband, and when he came back from the first tour, we would talk about being a veteran and how that changes you and how people want to know your story, but you're not sure quite how to tell it. You don't know how they're listening or how long they'll listen for. And so sometimes you edit your story without the audience knowing that you're doing that. Here at the Motherhood, what I really want to do is create an environment where we make our stories impactful, and we can either offer them in long bits or in short bits, where we can do a long form version, or we can just share an anecdote or a memory or a life lesson. And so some of the courses help work on some of those. But I'm most excited about also active listening and story circles, where we can sit together virtually and in person and hear each other's stories and ask questions and really know about each other. Because I think that's the part that matters most to me. Stories are amazing, but it's the community part that I'm most excited about at the Motherhood. And then I want to just call the elephant out. The Motherhood is based on a amazing story that Jen Hatmaker shared with her followers about elephants in a circle and taking care of their own. And everybody kind of takes a turn in the center of the circle. But that also means that not every woman is a mother. Not every woman has gotten to have the motherhood journey that they wanted. And so the Motherhood, because it's a great play on words and it's really about my motherhood journey, I also want to welcome in dads and people who haven't been able to be a mother yet, or stepmoms, or adoptive moms, everybody who loves like a mother and who has a mother to love. Everybody's story is included here. We say the Motherhood, we're going to start with some motherhood journeys, but I know that there are sisters who have played the role as moms. I know that there are grandparents who have played that role. There are definitely people who have chosen not to be moms, and those stories are also important because that is a motherhood journey as well. And I just want to share those stories so that we can all connect better and really feel that our story matters and our communities matter. And so I'm looking forward to sharing all that in the Motherhood. So we're here for the laughter, the tears, and all those messy bits in between. I hope you will join us for future episodes and like us on all of the socials and all of the podcast channels. Subscribe so you can get those new episodes. Thanks so much. Thank you for joining us for the Motherhood podcast. Please subscribe and like so that we can keep bringing you more episodes.